Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at Ask Adam Torres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Seth Morris on the line, and he's a senior account executive over at salesintel.io. Seth, welcome to the show.
Thank you, and it's an honor. I mean, to be around a celebrity like Adam Torres and to have some time with you is something I'll treasure for the rest of my life.
Oh, man, Seth, you're too much. You got to be an account executive over there doing well. I love it. Flattery will get you everywhere. So excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to get into how businesses can use sales intelligence to grow. But before we do that, want to go a little bit further into what you're doing over at salesintel.io. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Sales Intel provides human-verified sales intelligence, so contact data, the direct phone, the email addresses, sometimes multiple email addresses, multiple phone numbers, including several direct dials, technographic information on what technologies they're using, 40, 50,000 different hardware and software products out there, and firmographic data, number of employees, location, revenue, and all this is integrated with Salesforce and Outreach and Marketo and other usual suspects. So that's what we provide to the market.
I love it, and that's why I wanted you on the show for this topic. So how businesses can use sales intelligence to grow? I think you have a unique vantage point because you guys are sitting on a lot of data over there. Where do you want to start with this topic?
Yeah, so sales intelligence is really important. If you don't have sales intelligence, your salespeople spend all their time doing research and very little time selling. So the average rep's going to spend 2 or 3 or 4 hours a day just doing research. And the better your sales intelligence, the less time they spend researching, the more time they spend generating opportunities and increasing the bottom line. So that's what we do. Is the difference between Sales Intel and other providers out there is that we have the best human verified research. We have hundreds of researchers making thousands of calls a day, and we actually have 48 million mobiles, mostly in the United States. So that's more than double than any other provider. So during this pandemic, when people are trying to reach people working from home, it's super critical. But after this is over and we're going to get through this, it's still extremely important to be able to reach people on their mobile number. That's the big difference maker that we have in the market today.
Can you talk about the difference between, and this may sound like an obvious question, but for some people out there that have never used a company to generate or to buy data from, like phone numbers and other things, they may not be aware. So can you talk about the difference between good and bad data and what that looks like? Because not everybody knows.
Sure. So bad data is what you have in your system when they say, we've got 5 million. We've got 5 million phone numbers in our CRM, and they've had it since 1983. And there's so much bad data in there that they can't find anything of value because it's overwhelmed by all the junk. So there are a lot of providers that provide what they call AI. That's just another way of saying scraping LinkedIn and other social media sites. So it provides commodity-level contact data. But what we do that's different is the fact that with hundreds of researchers doing the research, we're actually capturing the mobile number, the direct dial for the vast majority of people that we're profiling. We have more mobile numbers than any other provider by a factor of 2. So if the bottom line is, if you're Mike Trout and you're a baseball player and you've got 10 at-bats and you've got a 330 average, and you got someone else who's a 250 hitter, but they get twice as many at-bats, they're going to out-hit Mike Trout. That's what really superior sales intelligence does. It gives all of your reps a much better chance to win. If you're making 100 calls a day, the mythical 100 calls a day, and you double the number of people you reach, well, what do you think the result's going to be? It's that simple.
For the companies out there that are listening that maybe haven't used a service like salesintel.io, What kind of experience should they expect? Like, how does it work? Like, walk them through that process, because there's some people listening that have maybe been considering doing something like this, but they just haven't gone over that and started.
Well, it would involve a discovery call, perhaps a little screen share, understanding the challenges that each company faces. It could be a gigantic tech company. It could be a 5-person shop. But we would have an introductory meeting and find out what's important to them, what their challenges and pain points are, where the gaps are, and we would schedule a call and see if we can help them. And if there's interest, we would find a way to do a POC and test the data and evaluate it and see if they'd like to move forward with an agreement.
How do people usually I guess use your data? So give us a little bit of an idea on kind of breakdown. So are they targeting like specific areas? Are they running a campaign? Like, give us a bit of a feel for that and what that looks like.
Sure. It's interesting. The last 3 deals I've closed have all been information security vendors for some reason. But I know that they are particularly interested in getting hard to define direct dials. So for an example, if you're at an information security vendor, you're going to be targeting CISOs, directors of information security, managers of information security, and you have a named account list. Typically, say a salesperson has 250 accounts, and their inside rep or SDR supports them and tries to set up meetings. So they would go into our platform and say, show me all the security decision makers at these 200 or 300 accounts, and it would generate the list in the user interface of the people they need to call. So there's the phone numbers, their direct dials, the mobile numbers, and all that data is also brought easily into HubSpot, and Salesforce, and Marketo Outreach, SalesLoft as well. So they would use it to look up information on, show me all the InfoSec decision makers at my companies, or let's take a look at XYZ company and see what technologies are they using. Are they using Palo Alto? Are they using Rapid7? Are they using FireEye? How many employees do they have? What's their revenue? Where are they located? Where are all the decision makers located? So it gives them all the information they need that typically would spend hours and hours to look up the information. Our hundreds of researchers keep that information sparkling clean and updated every 90 days. They touch every record every 90 days to test the phone number, test the email. We test it ahead of time so they can just pick up the phone and call and sell. And that's what we do from a sales perspective.
You're spoiling these salespeople and these businesses and companies out there. Well, back in my day when I was a sales guy, when I graduated college and I was making those outbound calls, I knew what it was like, and nobody was giving me clean data like that. You're spoiling them.
That's good. They should be spoiled. They should be spending their time selling. I mean, way back when people were sending letters via fax, that was the high-tech instrument when I was out of college. So that, when I call myself a senior account executive, that's because I'm old. That's where the senior comes in. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'd like to also say that our product changes behavior, and I'll tell you why. One thing that gets my crawl when people, I'll see it on LinkedIn, it's like, when's the best time to make a cold call? And nothing makes me mad. It's like, now. It's always now. The answer is always now. They try to tell you Wednesdays and Thursdays between 8 and 10 a.m. So people are afraid to pick up the phone. They'll send an email to someone, hey, is it okay if I call you? Which is crazy. So one of the challenges of reaching people on the phone these days is there's no phone tree anymore. If you do reach someone and it says that's their number and it goes to a recording, you don't even hear the voice, you just hear a beep, or their voicemail is full. So you can't reach anyone, especially nowadays. So the real challenge for us is if we can give people the mobile number for that CISO or the CIO or the key decision maker or the head of logistics at a Fortune 500 company, they're going to pick up the phone because they know they can reach them. So our product changes behavior in a very positive way and gets people back on the phone. Because part of it is just they didn't have the right tools to reach people.
Man, that's awesome. So, Seth, speaking of reaching people, if somebody's listening to this and they want more info on salesintel.io, what's the best way for them to reach out?
They can contact you, and then you could sell the lead to me for $100. How's that?
Nope, not going to work. What's the best way for them to reach directly to you?
Come on, man. I'm trying to help you out. They can send me an email. Should I give the email address and the phone number?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So the email address is seth.morris@salesintel.io. The phone number is 703-991-7512.
And leave that phone number one more time, please.
Sure. 703-991-7512.
Fantastic. Well, Seth, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great stuff you're doing over at salesintel.io to help businesses grow. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things you're working on. And Seth, thanks again for coming on the show.
Adam, thanks for having me. Have a great weekend.